Welcome back to Car Future Wheels. When you first spot the 2026 Mazda BT-50 approaching, it's not just another pickup rolling down the street, it's a moving statement of intent. The front end greets you like a handshake from someone who knows exactly who they are, confident, purposeful, and not afraid to stand out. Mazda's designers have clearly leaned deeper into the brand's Kodo philosophy, giving the nose a sharper, more sculpted face. The larger, gloss black grille almost shield-like Kia sits flanked by slimmer, more aggressive LED headlamps. They carry that signature Mazda light signature, a sharp winged eyebrow that gives the BT-50 a focused, almost watchful stare. Under the bumper, the lower air intake stretches wider, integrating an understated skid plate with functional air curtain elements that help smooth airflow around the front wheels. You notice the chrome is dialed back compared to older models, replaced with darker, more modern accents that make the whole face look more technical and cohesive. Walk along the side and you'll see how Mazda blends its road car fluidity into what is still a rugged truck form. The front wheel arches have a strong shoulder that rises from the grille, casting shadows in the late afternoon sun. The body line runs clean, no unnecessary creases, just one subtle curve along the doors to give depth. Door handles and mirrors in the SP grade carry gloss black to match the grille, while the side steps sit tucked in tightly for both aerodynamics and off-road clearance. Around the rear quarter, the bed flows seamlessly into the tailgate without feeling tacked on, and the wheels set two-tone machined alloys fill the arches just right without exaggeration. As you swing around to the back, the details become more apparent. Mazda's designers have kept the tailgate surface clean, dominated by a large centered badge and embossed BT-50 script. The taillights are slimmer, adopting a more horizontal stance, now fully LED with a distinctive brake light signature. The bumper houses integrated steps for easier bed access, and the tow hitch is tucked neatly under, giving the impression of readiness without visual clutter. The cargo bed itself feels deep and usable, with tied-down points neatly integrated and a soft open tailgate that doesn't slam down, a detail you'll appreciate when your hands are full. Step inside and it's hard not to notice that Mazda has tried to make the BT-50 cabin feel more like a premium SUV than a commercial ute. The door closes with a solid thud, sealing you into an interior that smells faintly of fresh leather and new electronics. The dash layout is symmetrical and uncluttered, anchored by that 9-inch infotainment screen sitting proud at the center. Unlike some pickups, the plastics don't feel hollow or flimsy. Soft touch panels are where your elbows and hands rest most often. The steering wheel, wrapped in smooth leather with thumb rests at just the right spots, feels like something lifted from a CX-9 rather than a truck. Glance down and you'll see a 7-inch digital driver display behind the wheel, a crisp graphics, smooth animations, and useful customization. You can toggle between off-road data screens showing pitch, roll, and differential lock status, or more everyday displays with fuel economy and navigation prompts. Wireless Apple CarPlay works without hiccup, and Android Auto remains an easy plug-in for those who prefer it. The SP seats, with a mix of mesh texan suede and terracotta and black, feel grippy in corners and plush on long hauls. GT trims get full black leather with heating, and the dual-zone climate ensures everyone's comfortable regardless of outside weather. Fire up the engine, and you hear that familiar diesel Huma 3.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder delivering around 191 horsepower and 450 Nm of torque. The numbers alone don't tell the whole story, it's the way that torque comes on early, pulling strongly from just over idle, that makes it such a dependable workhorse. You barely need to prod the accelerator to get it moving, and in city traffic, it surges ahead without lag. The 6-speed automatic gearbox isn't chasing headline as it's smooth, predictable, and tuned to keep the engine in its fat torque band. Under the hood on the open road, the BT-50 feels stable and composed. Mazda has managed to tune the steering to avoid the vague, floaty feeling some pickups suffer from. It's not sports car sharp, but it tracks cleanly through sweeping curves and doesn't feel unsettled over mid-corner bumps. Ride comfort is firm, as expected for a ladder frame chassis, but damping is well judged. It soaks up sharp potholes without sending a crash through the cabin. Cabin noise is surprisingly low at highway speeds as the diesel settles into a muted thrum, and wind noise is minimal thanks to careful mirror and door seal design. take it off-road, and it's equally at home. Select 4H for gravel tracks, or 4 liters for tougher climbs, and you'll appreciate the low-end torque and locking rear differential when traction's scarce. Ground clearance gives you confidence over rocky ruts, and the approaching departure angles let you nose into or drop off embankments without scraping. The underbody is shielded, so you're not chewing your nails every time a rock appears in your path. And when the trail ends at a campsite or job site, the 3.5-ton towing capacity means you can bring more than just the basics. Fuel economy is realistic amid 8 liters per 100 kilometers in mixed use if you're not pushing hard, slightly higher with a full load or in heavy stop-start traffic. For a truck of this size and power, that's competitive, and with a generous fuel tank, you can travel serious distances between stops. Pricing reflects the versatility and equipment you're getting. The base XS keeps things simple, starting in the mid-$30,000s USD equivalent. The XT and XTR bring in more comfort and tech, while the GT starts to feel premium. The SP at the top of the range edges into the low $70,000s in some markets, but you're getting every comfort feature, the most advanced safety suite, and the boldest design. The 2026 update doesn't reinvent pricing but edges it up slightly to reflect inflation and added equipment. Ownership experience matters, too. Mazda backs the BT-50 with a competitive warranty and capped price servicing in key markets. Service intervals are reasonable, and the Isuzu-derived powertrain has a track record for durability. Accessory options are Vasto sports bars, hard lids, tuck covers, bull bars, lighting upgrades, even snorkels for those who plan to ford deeper waters. This adaptability means you can set the BT-50 up for a pure work, weekend adventure, or a blend of both. Over the years, the BT-50 has shifted from being the quiet underdog to a strong contender in the midsize pickup segment. The 2026 model shows that Mazda's confidence is growing and they're not chasing trends blindly, but rather refining what works. It's a truck that feels balanced between work and lifestyle, with a design that turns heads without compromising function. And as you climb out after a long day of driving, whether that's city errands, a cross-country haul, or an off-road escape, you close the solid-feeling door, glance back at the bold tailgate, and think, yes, this isn't just a truck I drove today. This is one I could see myself living with, relying on, and maybe even showing off a little. That's the 2026 Mazda BT-50, a ute with purpose, polish, and plenty of heart. If you're new here on Future Wheels, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our deep dive test drives and head-to-head comparisons. And if you're already part of our crew, drop a comment with your thoughts. So would you take this over a Hilux, Ranger, or D-Max? Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your wheels turning and your adventures rolling forward.